Alright, hold up.
Record your face.
Alright, okay, we're starting off with the cells, right? Alright, we have 100,000, 150, 175, and 125. Right? And the first problem, it tells you to do the income statement. So then you have your cost of goods sold, and it's given in the question that it's 60%. So you get 60% of your sales. And then you got your 40% for gross profit. Can you explain that?
No.
You got
that's
that?
not 40% gross profit.
Oh, no, your cost of goods sold, yeah.
And you get
Yeah, you just divide about that, yeah.
And that's your total.
You get that, okay. So and after that, your SGA is given to you for year 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your depreciation, you're going to solve that. I'll explain that later on.
30 years divided by 100.
Okay. So the first question he has is your initial investment. And the question he has right here is that you bought a building $150,000 for 5 years, and your depreciation is for 30 years, and then it's now it's worth $200,000. So our initial investment is $200,000 because the 150 was 5 years ago, so it's a sunk cost, so it doesn't matter anymore. So that's how much we're actually investing into this whole operation. So then we're doing our annual depreciation, which is what we actually bought it for, which is $150,000 divided by the amount of years useful life, which is 30 years. And he may give us a salvage value, but there is no salvage value here, which is 0. So we get the $5,000, and then after that we need to do ending book value. Ending book value, here we go. Your initial cost, again, which is the 150, minus your accumulated depreciation. Accumulated depreciation, you solve it by year. The 5 years that were from the past and the next 4 years. So that's 5,000 times 9 gives you the 45,000. So you subtract the cost minus the cumulative depreciation, gets you the 105. Okay, so now we're doing the operating cash flow. And to do operating cash flow, you have your depreciation plus your net income. So our net income for year 1 was 12,000. 12,000 plus the 5,000 is 17,000. Yeah, our depreciation is 17,000. Then you're doing that again for year 2, year 3, year 4. You get 33,000, 41,000, and you get 25,000. Then we have our investment. We invested, before the year even started, we invested 200,000. The 200,000 is the actual cost of the building.
It's the value.
The value of the building. Okay, and make sure you don't forget to add the 105 because there's an ending book value here. And the ending book value is what we're going to sell the building by the end of that time frame. So we're making this money back. So we're doing the 105 plus the 25. That's how we get the 130. So then after that, we have our total cash flow, our investment of 200,000, 17,000, 33,000, 41,000, and 130,000. So now we got to input this into the calculator. So your CFO 0 is 200,000, and don't forget the negative. Then after that, you go down to your.
Do you want to do it on the calculator?
CF1.
Might as well, right?
Freaking memorize this shit already. Alright. Should I just clear it off?
Yeah.
Okay, so your CF0. You start off and you put in 200,000. 200,000 negative, and then you hit enter. Okay, and then you go down to your CO1. That's your cash flow 1 for year 1. So it's 17,000. Put enter. Then next one. This is for your frequency. If you had the same amount, then that's when you would put something in, but we're going to skip that since there's different amounts. CO2 is 33,000. Then you press enter. And then CO3 is 41,000 for year 3. Enter. And the last year, we're going to skip FO3 again and go to CO4, which is our 4th cash flow, which is 130,000. Then you're going to hit enter. After that, you hit the NPV key, because that's what we're going to be solving for. And the interest, the I, is our discounted rate that was given to us at 10%. You put 10% and hit enter. And after that, you press down and you hit the compute key. Then that's how we get to 37,677. Alright, and after that we are doing the PI, profitability index. The PI, there's a formula, which is your NPV plus your investment divided by the investment. So you're adding the NPV plus the investment divided by the investment, and you get 0.81. Then after that, we're doing the IRR. The IRR is very simple. It's easy, man. 17,000 divided by 1 plus IRR, and then you're doing that for every year. It keeps going up for 2, then 3, then 4, and you're just using the same total cash flow. Then we're doing the payback. The payback is done by we initially invest. We use 200,000. That's how much the cost of the building was, and this is how much income we made for each year. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. So then we're doing 200,000 minus the 17,000 gives you 183. Then after that, we're doing the 183 minus the second year, and that gives us 150. Then the 150 minus the 41 gives us 109. And after that, you know that you're going to make all that money back within the 4th year because you're making 130,000 on the 4th year. Then for what's next? 11 is your discounted payback. The thing with discounted payback is you're using again your same total cash flows, which is the 17, 33, 41, and 130, but you're doing 1 plus the discounted rate. So 1 plus the discounted rate would be 1 plus 0.1, so that's how we got 1.1. So then after that, this is year 1, so then since this is year 2, it's going to be 1.1 to the second power, 1.1 to the third, and 1.1 to the fourth. Okay, so the last step is they're asking for your AAR. Your AAR is your average net income divided by your average book value. Your average net income comes from these numbers up here.
You add them all together and divide by 4.
Yeah. And then your book value, your average book value is the 105 that we got from number 3. And we're supposed to also figure out the beginning book value. To get the beginning book value, we added what was it again?
Should pause it? There's
I
no
totally
pause.
forgot that. I totally forget the first name. 125. Oh yeah, that's right. We're doing the 200,000. Hold on. Those 5 years and we depreciate. 20,000.
One side again?
No, it's actually 150,000. Section. This is, we're finding the AAR. Alright, to get the 24,000, we are doing net income. We're finding average net income, which is all of the net incomes divided by 4. Okay, and then the bottom part is your average book value. So we already have the ending book value that we did in part 3, which is the 105,000. And to get the 125,000, which is your beginning book value, we got the cost of the building, which is 150,000, which was also given to us in the problem. Make sure you don't confuse that with the 200,000. That is not what. That's how much we actually paid for it back then. And then we are subtracting it by the depreciation, but for those 5 years that we bought it for. Before these 4 years that actually happened. So that's how we get, so we're doing 5,000 times the 5 years, gives us 25,000. So 150,000 minus 25,000 gives you the 125. Then all you do is you add and divide by 2, you get 24,000 divided by 115, then you get 0.21. This is also a percentage of 21% as your AAR. And that's it.
That's the end of the problem?
That's done.